A large winter storm is developing right now, and it just changed in a big way. A bunch of snow and extreme cold is set to impact the United States this weekend, with some areas expected to be hit harder than others. It all begins today, as a dangerous Arctic blast is gearing up to bring extreme cold to much of the United States. This blast of cold air will shatter temperature records in nearly a dozen states. But the main story is a major winter storm that is developing now, and it could bring some intense snowfall to some areas. This winter storm is beginning to form off the coast of Florida and will move up the east coast tonight and tomorrow, posing a risk of significant snowfall. This winter storm will be dangerous for some areas as it's expected to become a bomb cyclone. This means snowfall rates and winds will rapidly increase late tomorrow night and into early Sunday. If the winter storm takes the right track, it could dump over a foot of snow in much of the Carolinas. However, some model guidance indicates that might not be the case. Additionally, rare snow is possible in Florida tomorrow. So in today's forecast, I'm going to break down exactly what you need to know about this winter storm and what has changed over the last 24 hours. Now, we have a lot to talk about in today's forecast, and we have had some big changes to the forecast with this upcoming winter storm, and some of the changes might be good for some of you, some are bad, so let's talk more about it. This is what it looks like as we go into tonight. We will begin to see snow showers increasing in coverage across the Appalachian Mountains. We've actually had some pretty decent snow moving through Nashville this afternoon as well. We've had some flurries and even a coating in some locations, but over here is really going to be the big story. We have an offshore low pressure system that is going to rapidly intensify overnight tonight into tomorrow, and that's eventually going to bring some heavier bands of snow closer to the Carolina coastline. Notice this is pictured around midnight tonight, so overall we're not expecting any sort of major winter storm to really be happening tonight, but as we go into the overnight hours, it's going to start to really get organized. So by tomorrow morning, we will have a large area of snowfall, and we could even have snow as far west as Louisiana, Alabama. There will be a possibility of some snow flurries and maybe some light snow that could lead to a dusting of snow on elevated surfaces, but generally speaking, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But the real story is going to be this right here. Back over in the mid-Atlantic and the Carolinas, we'll have snow beginning to ramp up. That is because we'll have very cold air coming out of the north, moisture circling around Florida and coming out of the south, and this is going to begin to develop a pretty intense low pressure system. Now, while this is happening, I do want to point out that with our very cold air coming out of the north, we'll have northerly winds. That means intense lake effect snow is expected tonight into tomorrow if you are in northwest Indiana or very far northeastern Illinois near Chicago. Some areas are under winter storm warnings right now. This is an area that we could pick up around 6 to 12 inches of snowfall tonight. Maybe a little bit of lake effect snow also just to the north of Detroit. But again, the big story is going to be right here in the Carolinas, where snowfall is really going to intensify Saturday morning. Now, one of the biggest tricky parts really with this forecast is the dry slotting. There is going to be a risk that we could have some dry slots that develop back over in the Carolinas, and if that happens, snowfall accumulation for some of you could be dramatically lower. So I would not be getting too emotionally attached to all the snowfall forecasts that are out there. It is a very tricky forecast here for the Carolinas and Virginia because, one, this storm system is developing late tonight into tomorrow. It hasn't even formed yet. The other thing is that this is going to be a rapidly intensifying bomb cyclone, which means that the track of this storm could go a little bit further west or east than what we're currently forecasting. So that could really significantly alter our snowfall accumulation tomorrow. But I do still think the expectation is that there will be a widespread area of snowfall, especially across central and western North Carolina, upstate South Carolina, and back as far west as Atlanta, Georgia. Our most intense snowfall is still expected to be near Cape Hatteras, right on the north side of our low pressure system. That is where blizzard conditions are likely. And then during the afternoon and evening on Saturday, snow should be widespread, including Raleigh, Charlotte, back into Greenville, South Carolina, Charleston, and Myrtle Beach. A small little sliver of freezing rain can't be ruled out near the I-95 corridor, mainly from Charleston back up towards Myrtle Beach and maybe in the very extreme southern parts of North Carolina. During the evening hours, the snow continues to stay widespread here across the Carolinas, southeastern Virginia, like Virginia Beach, and